In today's video, traders, we're going to be talking about the pound dollar and some ways to trade it. If this is your first time here and you're looking to improve as a trader, start right now by subscribing to the channel down below. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. The pound dollar, also known as the cable, is a super volatile and interesting currency pair. Before I go any further, why do they call it the cable? Well, it's actually got its nickname. It dates back from the 18th century when the exchange rate used to be sent along a big fat cable that went across the Atlantic from the United Kingdom all the way to the United States. And it's kind of an old currency pair and kind of an old nickname for the currency pair. Again, this is a very volatile currency pair, and it's actually a risk on instrument. Now, if you don't know what that means, essentially that means that during times of panic, people will usually do risk off, meaning they'll buy something else. But during times of risk on, people will kind of invest with the pound, right? It's a little bit more of a volatile instrument and a little bit more of a risky instrument. Very heavily influenced by fundamentals is the pound, especially Brexit stuff. If you don't know what Brexit is, essentially Brexit is the concept of the United Kingdom wanting to move away from the European Union and all of that good stuff. And it causes quite a bit of volatility in the currency that we see quite often happening, big movements in the pound. So let's move on. Comparing it to the majors, let's talk about the three majors, of course, are the dollar yen, the pound dollar, and the euro dollar. Now, of these three, you can tell that the pound dollar is the most volatile. The USD, JPY, and Euro USD all moving about 55 pips per day, while the pound dollar is a little bit different in the sense that it moves nearly 100 pips on average per day. So super volatile compared to the other two majors. So day trading the pound. One thing I want to say about the pound is that it's a huge favorite for day traders. And the reason is because, like we just mentioned, there's high volatility here. And with high volatility comes the high potential for day traders or short-term traders to kind of get in and out of the markets with some big, heavy moves, okay? And especially talking about the London Open. Now, if you don't know when the London Open is, it's 8 a.m. GMT, 3 a.m. Eastern. Now, for most of us American traders, that's going to be pretty early in the morning, but some people are crazy enough to get up in the middle of the night and trade it. That's kind of the peak momentum, kind of peak movements in the market every single day when it comes to the Forex market. The London Open is usually the most volume, the most active part of the trading day in the world of currencies. So let's talk about the nature of the pound. When you look at a chart of the pound, what I usually notice is that we have a lot of sharp, sudden reversals, lots of movement on this currency pair. We talked about the high volatility, and with high volatility comes the potential for very sharp, sudden reversals, but also some very strong and prolonged trends. So you get a lot of both of these. You can see in the example here on the left that we had a sharp movement to the upside followed by some very sharp reversals and a quick trend reversal. Now, a lot of times you'll see things like on euro dollar, you'll see, trends kind of slowly turn, or you kind of get a little bit more of that. But when talking about the pound, there's a lot of sharp reversals, and something as easy as a news release could cause a sudden massive change in direction. So let's continue on. Let's talk about how to trade this thing. Well, usually when I'm looking at the pound, I'm looking to stick to the trend, because the pound dollar, again, with that high volatility, can trend very strongly for a prolonged amount of time. Things like pullbacks, breakouts, and other trend following measurements are going to be great ways to trade the pound, in my personal opinion. And I think it's great for both intraday and swing trading opportunities. If you're a day trader and you love that volatility, the pound can actually be a really good opportunity. I will caution you though that big news events are something you want to watch out for, and I definitely recommend getting on your forexfactory.com, going to the calendar, and making sure that if you're going to day trade the pound especially, that you don't want to do so right before news. A lot of people right now are completely avoiding the pound purely because of Brexit stuff, because of how much volatility and how sudden the market can move. But again, to each their own, and there are still opportunities if you're looking to be a day trader or a swing trader on the pound. So let's take a look at this 4-hour chart, guys. I wanted to share this with you because I thought this was super interesting. We talked about the fact that the pound dollar is highly volatile and can cause some really long prolonged trends, right? So looking here at the pound dollar, we have a 4-hour chart pulled up, and I have two moving averages on the screen here for you. You can see the red is a 20 period and the blue is a 50 period. And what I wanted to show here, just demonstrating the power kind of those trends that tend to unfold on the pound, as you can see, look at how we had some nice movements here. You can see the price dipped underneath and we had a nice trend to the downside, and the price, you can see the moving average move to the upside, and we had a nice trend there. Now, of course, I'm not advocating that a simple moving average crossover is the best way to trade it, but sharing more so that the trend nature of the pound can be very extreme, and prices can tend to continuously push one way. And and getting in on pullbacks and kind of trading breakouts with the pound is something that I personally would prefer when talking about trading this currency pair, both on the swing trading and day trading perspective. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. I do want to say I'm going to pop up a video right now on the screen on my London breakout strategy. I want to invite you to go check that out. That one's super interesting. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if this was helpful, make sure you subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up. That shows me that you appreciate it and that it was beneficial to you. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next video.